dear friends, welcome back again. We are so happy you popped over again to see what we are up to today. Of course, for everyone who is new here, welcome. We are Janny and Dyanne, and we hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, of course, we hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone who is here and is not subscribed to our channel, we hope you will click the red subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and tick the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Like we always say, enough talking, let's jump into today's inspiration. And you see already, everything is on the table again. And what we're going to do, because it is Christmas in July, and I'm going to use my tumbler tile blocks. I use the smaller blocks. Of course, I have here my container with everything inside, my scissors, markers, brushes, everything, my twine, some mud pots, and of course my wood glue. You can use some hot glue, but it's always tricky that it doesn't fall apart, so be careful with that. Of course, some paint at your choice. Maybe I use also another paint. And then I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel, which is wet, to wipe away the glue. What we're going to make, we are going to make a snowman, but a snowman with a twist. I am always loving making a snowman, but always in a different way. So we will see how unique we're going to get this one. So I hope you join me. So we are going to start with 4 blocks, because we're going to start with the head. And that sounds a little bit strange, but probably it will be. But you see already, my glue is not working with me. So he is not really up to do something. I didn't check it out. If you see, he's not really happy how I closed up yesterday. So I'm going to do some glue on the tops, roll them together. So 3 pieces, we do some glue, and then we're going to squeeze it. So this way, and we make sure that we have a nice straight line. We're going to get our towel and we're going to wipe away the glue we don't need. And of course, we're going to give this a couple of minutes drying. We place it over here. What we're going to do, we are going to get 3 blocks. I think I'm going to do it 4, 5. I think we're going to do it 6 high. So we're going to do 3 pieces of 6. So very easy. You just do some glue over here and on the longest side and on this side, and a number 5 and a number 6. And of course, you see already, we have already 3 over here, 4, 5, 6, and we do here the same. I should have laid it down already. I know. I should have done, but I did totally forgot it. And of course, I want to do this together with you. So everyone who wants to make this one can make also his own unique little snowman. And it will be kind of a stand you can place anywhere. You maybe also can place it under your tree. The ideas are endless and everyone can fill it in the way they want to. So we're going to squeeze it from within. Make sure that you have a straight line. And then from the outside, again, squeeze it from within. Go to the outside and make sure that you have, again, a straight line. And we do here the same. Squeeze it. And I think you can dream it already. Everyone who is here already for a long time, they probably get a kind of a tick, because they watch my DIYs, because everyone can dream already. Squeeze it, press it. So I think a lot of you already can dream it on his own. So I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. We gave it a couple of minutes. We're going to turn it and we're going to place the blocks in the longest side. Place this one on the side, do some glue over here, and we do this one the same. And it can fall apart, like I tell you every time and again, because don't worry about it if it does fall apart, because you can easily just place it together again and it glues again. But that's the greatest about wood glue. It still is very forgiving, so you can easily fill in the open gaps. And you see already, mine is also coming out and going all the way, but you squeeze a little, you press a little, and you always get to work with it. So don't mind and don't think. A lot of comments I hear, I can do it not as you are, because how do I tell you? I always say, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it, because I am not a professional. I can't say it enough, because there are so many beautiful creators who can make the most beautiful things because it's their job. This is not my job. It was not my real job. So I see it as a hobby, and I like to show it to you. But if I can do it, you can do it. You just have to be yeah, give yourself some grace, because I know you can do it. I see already so many beautiful pictures on my email from DIYs you make, and you give me so many ideas for in my own home also. So thank you for that, because I always say you can do it also, the same like I can. I also learn by the day. I hope that what I say makes sense in English. That's what I hope. So this will be the head. Of course, I'm going to give it some glue on the underside over here. Oh, you see already, I'm already gluing the side. I'm going to place it over here and make sure that I have it in the middle. Give some pressure over here. And then I'm going to let this dry in for at least a half hour. Now we're going to make his body, and we're going to do the body of the snowman in 3 parts, but we need an open frame. So what we're going to do, first we're going to do 4 times 2 blocks. This will be the top of his body, the first square we're going to make. This is of course the tops. Place it together. We do here the same. Place it together, and here, and this one. And we're going to squeeze them and make sure that we have them in one straight line. And we're going to give them a couple of minutes dry time. So I gave it a couple of minutes. I know also with the head it is not totally dry. I'm going to do on one of them, I'm going to do some glue on the top over here. Place it down and place this on here. I'm going to do some glue on this side. And I'm going to place this one not under here, but on the sides over here. Squeeze it. And now we need some glue on this side and on the side, because we have here some glue and some glue here. So we do it on the underside. So over here. And a little on the side on the top piece. And if you're going to place it down, you see already it's fitting nicely inside of here. I'm going to give some pressure here and here. And now we already have our own square, and I'm going to let this rest for a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, while our little square is drying, we're going to do 4 pieces of 3, and we're going to do again the tops. Very easy, only a little glue on the top side, roll them together this way, and we do here the same. And with this one, and again, place number 3 against it. And so we make 4 pieces from 3 blocks, and this is the last already. And we're going to place this one also together, and this one. And this snowman is not really a small snowman. Of course, if you want to do it smaller, it's always a little bit difficult, because these are already smaller blocks. So this is the size you get, because if you go to size it down, it's really getting yeah, because this is already only 2 blocks. So I would not recommend it to size down. You can do, of course, make it much bigger. That's another question. Bigger is always easier to do, especially if you already have the sizes. Because I did now 2 pieces starting with, and then 3 and 4. But if you're going to size it up, you can start with maybe 4 blocks, 5 and 6. Then you get a really big snowman. So you can do anything you like. And you see already this one is going out. I'm just going to glue it together and give it a couple of minutes rest. So now I have my 4 pieces again. I lay this one down. I'm going to do some glue on this one on the top. And we're going to place it over here and make sure that we have everything glued nicely together. We have to work a little bit with it. And this way, because he's a little bit out of the line. And this way, we're going to do some glue on this one. And we glue this on the inside again. The same like we did with the other one. And this, of course, we have to be sure, and now we're going to do, we need some glue here and some glue here. So we do some glue on the underside, over here, and a little on the inside at the ending, just a little space. You see already it's not too much. And we're going to place it down, and we're going to make sure that we have everything nicely, and give it some pressure, and give it here some pressure, and then we're going to let it rest. Of course, we need to wipe away the glue. Be sure that you keep both of the blocks holding in place, or else it will go everywhere. So, and we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. Now we have 4 rows of 4, and we're going to repeating the same. And this is the last of this snowman, because I do it in 3 parts. And I chose, like I told you, I chose for this size, but you can size up very easily. Maybe you want a big one outside of your door. But if you want to use this kind of blocks outside, always give them a furnace paint. If I hope I say it right, here in the net we call it furnace. At least you give it a layer of spray that you can use it for outside, because you always want to have it water resistant if you want to use it outside. At least if you want to have it for 1 season or maybe more. So we're going to give this some squeeze, and we do here the same again from the inside. Keep the 2 blocks in your hands, and this one also, and make a straight line and squeeze it. Squeeze this one, of course, and over here and over here. And we're going to give it some rest. So now we have also our 4 pieces of 4, and we're going to do again 1 this way, 1 this way, and 1. So we're going to do the top, and this one is really a big one. For me, he doesn't have to go bigger, because I want to have it on my dresser. So I'm going to go for this size, and I think he already turns out to be a reasonable size. He's not really small. He's a little bigger than I thought, but of course I should have known. I always build a little bit too big. So I'm going to do also a little on the top, on the ending, and I'm going to place it over here. We're going to squeeze it. We're going to squeeze over here, and this one even a little extra, and this one. And then we're going to wipe away, but be careful, make sure that you hold your pieces together. And over here, and you see already this one is a little offline, and that's not what we want. So now we're going to give it a couple of minutes rest. So now we're going to make the bottom, at least the stand where he is standing on. We're going to do 5 pieces of 3. We're going to do the longest line, and we're going to glue them together. Very easy, just roll them together. And you see already this DIY is not too many blocks, so it's always great. I always say, because I never know how many blocks I use, I always say have always 4 until 5 packages laying around in your home, and then you can always make every DIY. So we're going to, we're going to do already 3 blocks, squeeze them together, and this way, and this way. And we're going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So we gave all 5 of them a little minutes of a rest. We are going to now lay them in one line. All of them are pointing this direction. We're going to do some glue on this side, and squeeze it together. And on this side, over here, and the last already on this side. And we're going to fill it up with number 5. We're going to give it lightly. Every time a little bit of pressure, not too much. Every time a little bit, so we can easily fill in the open gaps we have. You see already I have still 1 over here. So I'm going to work my way to the top and work that everything is smoothly glued together. And you see already we're going to wipe away the glue, and now I have 1 big bottom. And of course later we can make it to give it a little bit more of a high-end look, but I think I'm going to keep it with this. We will see. So you see already we placed our bottom over here. Now we're going to get 6 blocks over here and 6 blocks over here. What we're going to do, we're going to roll them together because we're going to need a little bit of a face for the snowman, or else he looks not really like a snowman. So we're going to do 6 blocks together, and we do here the same, the longest line and this one, and already the last. And we're going to squeeze them, press them from within, and again, and this one also. Give some pressure over here. Make sure that you have it nice, as best as you can, in a straight line. Of course, we're going to wipe away the glue, and always when you wipe away the glue, check if you have it everything still in the straight line. So over here, and we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So I waited a couple of minutes. I'm going to turn them this way. I'm going to place this one on the side, and again we're going to do some glue over here. Place them together. You have now the blocks pointing in the longer side this way. We're going to give it some pressure, and we fill in easily the open gaps. And we're going to give this also a couple of minutes before we're going to glue them in the little square we made. That's the first square we made, the one with 2 pieces. So, and you see already, he can easily come on top of here. We have our square over here. This is the closed one, this is the open one, and we're going to make sure that we have this one over here. We're going to place this above, and we're going to do some glue along the line over here, around here, and over here, and around here, and we easily place it on top of here, and of course in the middle. And you're going to turn it around and look for that you have it everywhere in the middle, and then give it a little bit of pressure on the sides only. And we're going to let this dry. So you see already I made my mat a little bit longer with my second one, so I placed them to each other. I have here my 3 pieces, the bigger, the smaller, and the top. This will be his head. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue them together this way, but what you also can do, oh, there's a plane going. There's a plane going over. I'm sorry. You also can do it this way, and you just can glue them together this way. It's also an idea. It's not something I don't like. I am really debating if I am going to. Yeah, it's really not bad if I look at this way. You see already, I make it up where I'm when I'm busy. I think I'm going to go for this one. I really like this one because it's popping out a little bit more. It gives some texture. So I think I'm going to go for this one. So I make sure that I have the line over here. So I'm going to do some glue over here, from here until here. And I'm going to do some glue from here until here. So, and I'm going to let it rest in for a couple of minutes before I'm going to glue it. Now it is very easy. We place this one on top of here, and we're going to try to find the middle. I'm going to keep it in place, and I'm going to try to squeeze this one under. And of course, we're just going to ease it, lay it on top of each other. And I'm going to look for the middle, and I'm going to give it some pressure. And we do here the same. We give some pressure over here, and then we're going to let this dry in if we have it on the place we want to have it, and we're going to let it dry in at least a half hour. So if everything is correctly, you have now your frame, and you see already I glued it on top of each other. You can see it on the back side. I try to turn it so you can see that it's really glued on top of each other. You have, if everything is correctly, you have a bottom, and you have a snowman's head. What we're going to do, because I want to give it a little bit more steadiness to the frame when I'm going to glue it. So I need 2 blocks, of course, glued together. So this way and this way. So I'm going to very easy do some glue on the top. Oh, this is already enough. I think I'm going to do it also a little bit on this one, because or else it is a little bit too much glue. This one and over here, and I'm going to press this one and press it together, and we're going to let it rest for a couple of minutes. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to get our bottom. We have of course the frame of our snowman. what we're going to do, we're going to do some glue on the underside, on the hair, and we're going to do some glue on the front side, because we're going to use this as kind of as a frame to place it inside of here. What we also can do, if you want to do it earlier, you can glue them on top of here also before you're going to glue it over here. So that's also fine. Maybe I'm going to do that. I'm going to do some glue over here. And I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to do some glue over here. And we're going to place this one first down, and we're going to place this one over here in the middle, and we're going to place this one over here, and we're going to press it together over here. Make sure that you have everything in a straight line. And I'm going to keep it in place for a little moment, and then we're going to glue everything on top of our stand. We're going to glue this one, the longest line, over here and around here. We do some glue over here and over here. You see already, it's one big glue mess, but we're going to glue it on our frame, and again, place it in the middle. So over here, we're going to squeeze it, press it down, and we're going to keep it in place for a little moment until we have it. Be sure that everything is standing nicely. You see already, I took my two weights of 1 kilogram, and I'm going to place it on top of it to be sure everything is drying nicely. But you see already, on the front side also there is some glue coming out. I'm going to get my brush, and I'm going to remove the glue which is popping out. So again, we're going to clean everything, and we're going to let this dry in for at least 15 minutes. So in the meantime, we are going to take our snowman's head. I'm going to have my a little bit of the darker gray color. I don't want to use the black. I'm going to go this time for the darker gray. And of course, I'm going to place, oops, you see already, I'm just going to do some paint on top of my head, and I'm going to give it a little bit of the lighter sanding. Of course, I'm going to paint it, and then I'm going to wipe away a little bit, so it's still, the wood is still coming through a little bit. So, but of course, maybe you want a gold one, or maybe a black one. Just do whatever you think is right. I'm just going to choose for this one. So in the meantime, my head is drying. I'm going to get my frame. Of course, he's a little bit big for fitting inside in here, but we are going to paint this in the creamy white. But if you can do it totally white, I keep it with creamy white. And of course, then we're going to place our head on top, and of course we do some ribbon over it, and later we do some pieces in between here and here. But you see that in a moment. First, we're going to paint this white. So my snowman frame is drying also. I'm going to get my head, and I have here a piece of ribbon in the lighter red color. I'm going to do some ribbon from this side until this side, and maybe I'm even going to do it to the back side. I don't know, you can choose for yourself. So I'm going to go from this until this to make a nice little red popping out of my head. So I have here the piece of ribbon, and I have a straight line over here. I'm going to do a little bit of glue under here, and I'm going to place it in the middle on the back side of my head. So give it a little bit of pressure, not too much. And of course, we're going to, when it's dried up, carefully going around the ending, and we're going to go from this side to the other one, and we go to this side, and we're going to cut it off a little bit over the end where we started. Of course, I have to get my scissors under here, over here, and I'm going to place this a little double, and I'm going to do some glue on this side, and I'm going to place it on top of each other this way. Keep it in place, and now you see already you have a nice little popping out of your frame of your head. And I don't do, but maybe you can do some piece over here. Some people do a little bit of fabric over here, so it looks like the head is broke. At least that you did saw him. It's really difficult saying it in English, but but I think you already know what I mean. You know, some kind of a little square over here. You can choose for yourself. I keep it this way. Now we're going to do the frame of our snowman. We start with his face. So before I'm going to do the eyes and the nose, I'm going to make his mouth with a marker. But of course I use a little bit of a rounding of a bowl. You can use maybe the ending of a ribbon. You can use anything, maybe the ending of a weight. So I'm going to place this down and I'm going to make sure that I have it in the middle, and I'm going to make a little line until here and until here, and just a little small line. Of course I have to look for where I started and where I end. That's always always a tricky thing. And then we're going to go over with some black marker. So you see already I have a half a rounding, and I'm going to go with my black marker very carefully because it's always tricky. Of course, if you can paint it, it's much better, but I'm not a great painter, so I'm always taking myself take it easy. So I'm going to do a bit of some marker. I'm going to make my mouth, but of course do whatever you think it's right. So you see now I have my black mouth, and I'm going to get my pencil again, and I'm making a little half bows also on top of here, a little rounding, and I do here the same, and I go over with my marker. So this way and this way. So I'm taking it myself very easy. And then I'm going to get my googly eyes. I have here my package with my googly eyes. I'm going to do 2 of them, and I'm going to paint them black because I don't always like the googly eyes itself. It looks a little bit, especially mine, look very plastic. So I'm going to paint them both in the black color. So you see already I painted my eyes, my googly eyes black. I have here a carrot because I always have through the season I have my bag with some carrots. I order them always online on AliExpress, but you can also do Temu. I'm going to cut off a little piece so we get a flat side of our carrot, and then I'm going to glue this on top of here. So very easy, just get a knife and just carefully go around and make sure that you have a nice clean cut and that doesn't break out because it only is styrofoam. So you don't want that it is breaking out. So you see, this is what I mean. Oh, there you are. I would say, oh, where were you? You see a little opening, of course, for the stem. I'm going to do some glue, and then I'm going to glue it in between here on top of our frame. And then later we're going to decide where we're going to place our eyes. So I'm going to get my hot glue, and I'm going to glue my nose. So I do a little bit of hot glue. Of course, it's a little bit tricky because hot glue is always melting away your styrofoam. So you have to do it carefully. I'm going to place it a little bit on this height, and I'm going to squeeze it, keep it in place until it is dried up. So my googly eyes are dried up, and I'm going to look for where I want to have them. I think over here, and I think over here. So a little bit on this side. So I'm going to get some glue, do some hot glue on the back side, and I'm going to place them over here. And this is one, and I'm going to place this one over here, and make sure that I have them in the line I want to have them, maybe a little over here. And this one. So I think they look very nice. What I'm going to do now, we're going to glue our head on top, and then we're going to give some decoration on this and on this side, but you can decorate it any way you like. This is just an inspiration I give you, but you don't have to do it. You can decorate this side and this side the way you like it. So I'm going to get my wood glue, and I'm going to do some glues because I placed this one also in front of here. So I'm going to do some glue over here. And on the top side over here, and now I'm going to place my head, and of course we have to be sure that we have it in the middle. And of course, we're going to give it a couple of minutes holding place, because or else he will fall down. So I will make sure that everything is glued nicely together. So you see already on my table, I took out my butter brush trees, and they're always in a package of 12 in different sizes, and they are very cheap. So I hope you can find them, and even when you're going to make this later, you still can find them, because then the Christmas decor is already in the shops, at least here already. Now slowly in some kind of stores it is coming, but I know in a lot of countries in June, July, Christmas is slowly coming in. So I hope you find them also, maybe from in your stash from last year. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make the bigger ones over here and the smaller ones stair higher. So of course I show it you this way, you can see it now on the back side. So I'm going to get my bigger ones, and I'm going to carefully turn them, and I'm going to cut off the underside. It's very easy. I'm going to get my cutter, and I'm going to cut it off on the ending like this. So now you have a flat space. You see already like this. I took out the wire, and I'm going to place one over here. Of course, I'm going to glue it. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm going to do another one very carefully. Turn it around and get the feet off, and I'm going to get my cutter, and again I'm going to cut off a piece of my underside again over here, and I'm going to get my glue, and I'm going to glue this on the first stair of this one. So I'm going to do some glue in the inside of the tree, and don't worry, you will work it away later. We're going to place it in the middle very carefully. Just squeeze it in between and just let it rest for a little moment until it is dried up, and then I really hope it stays in place, but you never know. It is always tricky because it is not a really big space. You can leave the feet on, but I find it always a little bit of plastic. You see, he is not really want to work with me. He is not really happy where he needs to stand. So I'm going to look for how I'm going to fix this, because I want to have him standing over here. So I'm not giving up. I'm doing a little bit of extra glue over here, and I'm going to place this one next to the other one. Of course, over here, squeeze them in each other like this, and I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure until they are dried up, and maybe they are more sturdy when they are together. And this way, this is already one. Now we're going to get the middle size, or maybe the smaller size. I really have no idea. I think I'm going to go for the little ones, and I'm going to look first if I like this one better or the other one. So always try and just see how it is looking like, because you don't want to glue it and then say, oh, I should have done it differently. So I think I feel like this better, or maybe a size smaller. We will see. I'm going to turn this one off. Oh, this one is really hard to get off. You see already he's a lot of glue on the side. I'm going to cut it off. And now this is really small over here. So I'm going to go for this size. And again, I'm going to do some glue, and I'm going to fill it in the inside, and I'm going to squeeze it next to the other one. Very carefully. I'm going to squeeze it in, and that's the greatest about butter brush trees. You can easily fill them inside of each other. So we already have one over here, and now we're going to do another one on the other side. And of course I'm going to repeat this on the bottom, a little bit of the same. So I won't bore you with that to do all the sides. So again, I'm doing some glue over here, and I'm going to place it and make sure that I have it a little bit mixed in with the other tree over here, and I'm going to keep it in place for a little moment until my glue is dried up. So I'm really happy with this side, and of course later we're going to find a little bit of greenery to fix the ending over here. I'm going to repeating here the same. So you see, now I have two layers. I have here my trees and I have here my trees. Of course, now I'm going to get my greenery branch. You see already like this. And I'm going to make such a little pieces and I'm going to stick them all inside. So I work away the underside where is the glue. So I'm going to give them all a couple of this kind of greenery, and you can use any greenery. I do this on top also. So I'm going to finish this off. And then we are almost finished with this DIY. So you see already I did the underside and the middle side. And of course now I'm going to do a little bit of the same structure over here I do on his head. But like I told you, you can decorate it any way you like. You see in a moment how the snowman really turned out. And for a little tip, maybe you can also make a hanger out of here and just do some Christmas balls on top of here. You can do anything you like. You can make a little snowman inside and on each stage. You can do anything you like, but you see mine in a moment. And here you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling tower block snowman with an open frame. You can decorate it any way you like. Of course, I hope you give this snowman a try, and everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give us a thumbs up and hit the bell, so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. For more DIYs, come on over to our description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. And everyone who is here and only love to watch, of course, I'm so happy you're here. And of course, I hope you enjoy also what you saw. Everyone, have an amazing day. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.